Friday, September 30th marks the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation in Canada. It is a day to honor residential school survivors, their families and communities. Public commemoration of the tragic and painful history and the ongoing impacts of residential schools is a vital component of the reconciliation process. The City of Revelstoke supports the Truth and Reconciliation Commission calls to action and will continue to work towards contributing to the healing process as we strengthen our relationships with our Indigenous community members, neighbors, and partners. There are several calls to action in the Truth and Reconciliation process, and I just draw your attention to number 57, and I'd like to read that. We call upon federal, provincial, territorial, and municipal governments to provide education to public servants on the history of Aboriginal peoples, including the history and legacy of residential schools, the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, treaties, and Aboriginal rights, Indigenous law, and Aboriginal Crown relations. This will require skills-based training in intercultural competency, conflict resolution, human rights, and anti-racism. Here in Revelstoke, I'm proud to say we have an author, local author, Laura Stovall, who's written this book called Swift River. It gives us an idea of what our Indigenous peoples had gone through, years and years of working in our community, but it also gives us an idea of how we can participate in the reconciliation process. And if you get a chance to read it, I just encourage you to look at it. It'll give you a better understanding of what people have gone through. I've had the honor of being able to sit with some of our Indigenous partners and Kupkis to discuss what happened in Kamloops with the 215 deaths of our children. And let me tell you, it's an incredibly emotional experience. So I just encourage the people of Revelstoke to participate in the reconciliation process through education and reflection. On this important day, we encourage you to wear an orange shirt, so show your support. Take time to walk on the land. Learn about the legacy of the residential schools, and visit the Revelstoke Museum and Archives to learn about the Indigenous people of Revelstoke. For my wife and I, we have the honor of being able to spend time with Indigenous people at the Salute to Salmon Run out at the Adams River. And just encourage, if there's anyone else that's able to come, please come, see what they're doing, and understand their culture. I want to say thank you for joining me today. It is through both reflection and action that we can move forward as a community to embrace reconciliation.